truck stops on a hill overlooking the city. Mietek Pemper steps down. His feet land on broken tombstones. He's just 23 years old, wearing round glasses on a thin, exhausted face. Around him, hundreds of prisoners shuffle through the main gate of what used to be the sacred ground, 2 Jewish cemeteries, but now it's something else. SS guards shout orders in German. Mietek understands every single word. He's fluent in German, Polish, and he studied stenography. These skills will save his life, but he doesn't know it yet. He looks around. The camp stretches across 200 acres. A 2.5-mile-long electric double-barbed wire fence surrounds it all. Watchtowers at specific intervals. Each one has machine guns covering different angles. Gravestones have been ripped from the earth. Some are used as paving stones for the paths prisoners walk on now. Hebrew inscriptions face upward. With each step, they get trampled. These are the remains of 2 cemeteries, the old cemetery from 1887 and the new from 1932. This is Plaszow. The commandant designed it this way, built deliberately on holy ground. It wasn't practical, it was psychological warfare. A message: nothing is sacred, not even the dead. Mietek gets pushed forward with the crowd toward the lower section. On his right, he sees the Byzantine-style building, the old funeral parlor designed by Adolf Siodmak. The Germans converted it into a stable and carriage house. Its elegant architecture looks wrong here. It mocks everything. An SS officer rides past on horseback, tall, dark-haired, impeccably dressed. He looks at the camp like a landowner inspecting his estate. His name is Amon Göth. He is about to become one of the most sadistic killers of the Holocaust. Mietek marched parallel to Velika Street. It runs along the eastern edge of the camp. On his left, he passes a fenced complex, Babel's storehouses. He sees furniture, carpets, and rolled rugs piled high, everything stolen from Jewish homes. These items will be cleaned, repaired, and sent to the riches. They continue to the men's camp. Rows of wooden barracks stretched ahead. Mietek gets assigned to one of these barracks. The building is crude. Wooden plants are poorly fitted. Gaps let in the cold. Inside, triple-stacked bunks line both walls. The air reeks of unwashed bodies and sickness. He claims a spot on a middle bunk. The man below him looks hollow-eyed and skeletal. He mutters a warning. Don't attract attention. Don't make eye contact. Goeth shoots people for fun. Mietek nods. He's already heard the rumors. The next morning, 5 a.m., prisoners get dragged from their bunks for roll call. They march to the massive assembly square in the center of the camp. Thousands stand in rigid lines. SS guards count them. The process takes hours. From his position in formation, Mietek can see the entire layout. To his left, the women's camp separated from the men by barbed wire. To his front, the Polish re-education work camp, established just this summer for Poles punished for administrative offense. A separate labor camp inside the camp. They have their own barracks, men and women kept apart. To his back are the men's camp, and behind the men's camp, the utility buildings. Kitchen, bakery, meat plant, and laundry. Just across the street, there is an industrial section. Carpenter's shop, shoemakers, electricians, watchmakers, and a printing house. This area is called the New Industrial Site. Among them is the well-known Madrish Tailoring Company. Behind Mietek, rows of additional barracks. He'll learn later that what those camps hold will shake his soul. At the highest point, overlooking everything, lies a command center. One building stands out. From its terrace, Goeth can see the entire camp, but just in front of it, hidden in the gravel pits, there's an execution site. 2 weeks later, Mietek gets called from his work detail. His heart races. Being singled out usually means death. An SS officer looks at his intake papers. You speak German? You know stenography? Yes, sir. You'll work at headquarters. Mietek marched north, past the assembly square towards the command building. He enters a structure near the top of the hill. The Grey House. Originally built in the 1920s as a Jewish cemetery building, now it's SS headquarters. The building is solid grey stone, still intact. But Mietek notices something as he walks through, a stairway heading down to the basement. But he'll learn what's down there. Torture cells and standing bunkers installed just a few months ago. Prisoners were forced to stand in darkness, having no room to sit or lie down. He gets taken to an office on the main floor. Behind him sits Amon Göth, smoking cigarettes. His uniform is pressed perfectly. You'll be my stenographer. You'll transcribe my correspondence, maintain records, prepare reports. You'll see and hear everything that happens in this camp. If you repeat any of it, I'll shoot you myself. Understood? Yes, Herr Commandant. Göth finally looks at him. You are educated. That's rare. Don't make me regret this. Mietek gets assigned a desk outside Göth's office. From here, he has access to everything. Files, correspondence, and orders. His window overlooks the camp. For the next 18 months, Mietek Pemper witnesses everything. He transcribes orders for executions, reports on prison accounts, death tolls, work quotas. He has access to files detailing the camp's operations. Who arrives, who dies, who gets transferred. The camp's population swells. By mid-1943, over 25,000 prisoners were crammed into Plaszow. Working in the Grey House, Mietek learns the system. The camp is divided by type. Jews in the southern barracks, Poles in the northwestern section, different groups marked with different colored badges. Division prevents solidarity. 14 fire protection ponds dot the camp, marked in blue on the maps, not for prisoner safety, but to protect German infrastructure. One afternoon in late spring, Mietek is working at his desk when he hears voices from Göth's office. One voice is unfamiliar, jovial, confident, speaking German with a Czech accent. The door opens. A tall, well-dressed man emerges, laughing at something Göth said. He carries himself differently than the SS officers, more relaxed, almost charming. This is Oskar Schindler. Schindler owns a factory in Kraków, Deutsche E-Mail-Warenfabrik, producing enamelware and munitions. He employs Jewish workers from Plaszow, transported daily to his factory outside the camp. Mietek has seen Schindler before on these visits. To most, he seems like another German profiteer. But today, as Schindler passes Mietek's desk, their eyes meet briefly. There's something there, a flicker of understanding. Later that afternoon, Schindler accidentally leaves behind a document on Mietek's desk, a requisition list for skilled workers he wants to transfer to his factory. Mietek scans the names. Several he recognizes: intellectuals, teachers, a rabbi, people with no factory skills whatsoever. He understands immediately. Schindler is rescuing people under the guise of needing workers. Over the following months, something forms between Mietek and Schindler, a secret alliance. During his visits, Schindler begins requesting specific prisoners, always through proper channels, always with plausible justification. He submits his requests through the Kommandantur. Mietek has access to all camp records in the Grey House. He helps identify prisoners at risk, those marked for execution, those too weak to survive much longer. They communicate carefully, a document positioned deliberately, a brief whispered word when Göth isn't around. Mietek provides information, transport schedules, liquidation rumors, lists of prisoners marked for execution. Schindler uses it to request those prisoners for his factory. It's dangerous for both of them. If Göth discovers the scheme, they'll both die. May 7th, 1944, a day Mietek will never forget. A special health assembly gets ordered in the assembly square. Thousands of prisoners forced to stand for inspection. SS doctors walk the lines, making selections. 1,500 people get selected. Mietek types the transport order that afternoon. Destination: Auschwitz. He knows what that means. They won't be coming back. Among them are people he's come to know, faces he sees daily from his window. The prisoner who works in the kitchen who sometimes manages to sneak extra bread. The woman from the hospital who used to sing quietly to comfort the dying. Gone. August 1944. The camp's infrastructure continues to expand even as the war turns against Germany. The Kranzovka prison gets moved into the basement of the Grey House. The torture cells and standing bunkers are fully operational now. Sometimes Mietek hears screams from below. He keeps typing. He has to. His survival depends on appearing compliant. But he also continues his secret work. Every document he can hide, he hides. Every name he can remember, he remembers. Every transport schedule, every execution order, every piece of evidence. He's cataloguing it all in his mind. If he survives, someone needs to remember. Someone needs to testify. January 1945. The Soviet army is advancing rapidly. Goeth has already been arrested. Not for murdering thousands, for corruption and stealing from the SS. A new commandant runs the camp now, but everyone knows the end is coming. Mietek receives a summons. His heart pounds as he walks to the commandantur. Inside, he gets told he's being transferred. Schindler has requested him specifically for his new factory in Brunlitz, Czechoslovakia. This is it. Schindler is making his move. In secret, working late nights in the Grey House while guards drink in the former telephone exchange officers' club, Mietek compiles the most important documents of his life. He has access to the master registry of all Plaszow prisoners. Names, professions, ages, prisoner numbers. He begins writing a list. Not just any list. A list of over 1,200 people. People who can be justified as skilled workers. He passes the information to Schindler's associates through carefully orchestrated handoffs. It became the basis for Schindler's List, the document that will save 1,200 lives. When the list gets finalized, Schindler submits it officially through the commandantur. After bribes, negotiations, and bureaucratic maneuvering, approval comes through. The prisoners on the list get transferred to Schindler's new factory. Among them, Mietek Pemper. In January 1945, the Germans begin wiping Plaszow off the map. They burned the barracks, tore up the railway, and destroyed the records. The crematorium ran non-stop, burning bodies from Chujowa Gorka and the old cemeteries. Ashes were scattered across the hillside. Tombstones were broken apart or buried. The fortress and funeral parlor were left in ruins. The last prisoners were forced to march west in the middle of winter. Many collapsed along the road and were shot. A camp that once held 25,000 people became a ghost site. April 1945. Liberation. When the Soviet army reached Kraków, Plaszow was already gone. They found only burned ground and empty watchtowers. The Grey House stood silent. Goeth's villa, almost untouched, looked obscene in its perfection. The assembly square was empty. The ponds reflected nothing but a grey sky. Mietek Pemper returns. After being freed, he came back to the hill where the camp once stood. He walked through the Grey House, now abandoned but familiar. The quarry was overgrown. Grass covered Chujowa Gorka. Gravestones from the Jewish cemeteries lay buried under the paths. Only the ruins of the funeral parlor remained. He remembered everything: the fence, the square, the villa, the names, the orders. Because he remembered, the world would too.